Hi, my name is Tankam Girija and I'm going to present my final project, photo sharing application using Amazon Simple Email Service or SES. Amazon Simple Email Service is an outbound only email sending service which provides an easy, cost-effective way for sending emails. My project, photo sharing application, is a client-server web application where users can create accounts, upload photos and share them using Amazon SES. The users would then receive emails with images as attachments. The project is done using the AWS Simple Email Service Java API. Amazon SES provides two kinds of accesses, production access and sandbox access. A sandbox is where a new user would test their applications, and once all the testing is done, it can be moved to a production environment. Since requesting production access normally takes time, for the purpose of demo today, I'm going to stick to the sandbox access. The sandbox access needs to go through a formal verification process where all the involved emails needs to be verified to show that you own it. So I'm going to show the verification process first before jumping into the demo. Here I'm logged into the AWS Management Console and I select SES from the App Services tab. Since we're not going to request a production access, I'm not going to go down that route. So let's, in order to see the list of all email addresses that has been verified, you can use the email addresses tab here. There is one email that's already been verified, and I have created a test email today for the purpose of the demo. So let's just verify that now. This says I've received a verification email in my inbox of the test email, so let's just check that first. Here I have a new email. So I need to confirm the verification through the link here. This says I have been verified, so let's just check that by going back to the console and refreshing the email list. So my new test email has been verified. For the demo today, my application is going to send an email with the images and attachment from this email as the to address, as the from address, and the new test email we just verified as the to address. So now let's show the demo. This is a quick view of my project workspace. It is a web application deployed on Tomcat server. As you can see, the server is up and running, so I'm going to access the application from a web browser. This is the application front page where users can either create an account or existing users can log in. So today I'm going to create myself as a user and go from there. So this is the user's homepage where they can start uploading images using the file uploader functionality. Before doing that, it's a good idea to verify all the emails. So there is an option here where users can do that. So this says that two of my emails has been verified, which I can send emails back and forth from, and that's one feature. Another one is the request statistics. This is actually a JSON response being returned from Amazon SES. Another one is request statistics, where users can see all the limitations here and the send quota. There is a limit for depending on the environment, whether it is a production or sandbox environment. So this says I can only send maximum of 200 emails per hour. And the send rate is 1 email per second. And in the last 24 hours, I have sent 4 emails. And the statistics says how many delivery attempts has been made, how many of them has bounced, and things like that. So going back to the home page, and let's start uploading images by choosing the files. Let's add a couple of emails here, a couple of photos. So I have three images added here. What happens is here that every images that are uploaded is being is being stored in an S3 bucket, and from the S3 bucket the application returns the URL of the image, which is being stored in a MySQL database, and from there it's being displayed here in the application. So let's just verify the bucket, S3 bucket, where folders are created for each users and images are being stored under each folder. So let's just go to the S3 bucket. This is my AWS Management Console S3 service page, where you can see a bucket has been created called Photo Sharing Tankam. Let's open that, and I have a folder which is the user that I just created and logged in with. So under there, all of my images has been stored here, and the image URLs are being stored in a MySQL database, and we can see that in a minute. This is a snapshot of my local MySQL client, where all the images, all the S3 URLs of the images are being stored locally, and from here it's being displayed on the client. Now to demo the main feature, let's share one of these pictures using the share option here. It's asking for me the email to share it with, so I provided the test email that's already verified in AWS, and send. It says the share has been successful, which means I should have received an email now in my inbox. So let's just verify that. This shows that I have received an email here in my inbox, in the test inbox. So let's just open that. So as you can see, the image has been attached here. This is the one that we shared from the front end, and it has a hard-coded email body, a subject, and as you can see, there is an option where you can unsubscribe the email from, so that if you don't want to receive emails from the application anymore, you can opt out. Let's just try that. So here I can unsubscribe by providing the email address again, and unsubscribe. So it says I have been unsubscribed, which means I no longer will be receiving emails from the application. We can confirm that by going back and trying to share another image from the application. So I'm trying to share, I'm going to try and share another image to the same email address that has been just opted out. So it says the email has been unsubscribed, which means you cannot send emails anymore. This is a picture that summarizes everything that I have showed you here, a high-level workflow. It's a client, and so it has a client and server component, and all the highlighted green boxes here are the main use cases that are covered here. They can view the list of all emails that are being verified in SES. They can request statistics, and the main feature where they can upload and share images. Each of them will place service calls, which eventually makes API calls to SES, and gets back a client response, which is being displayed at the client side. Let's take a quick look at the code here. This is my workspace as I showed you earlier. It has a credential file where you have to provide all your AWS credentials, just as you would for any other AWS service. And this is where all my main service classes are. Let's take a look at the main class, AWS SES Sender. So it goes through the basic authentication process where all the AWS credentials are verified, and then it checks if the senders or the recipient's emails are being verified. If not, it would respond back with an exception. These are all API calls being made. So it first verifies the email, and the send message is where all the email messages constructed, and the client would send all the parameters, the to address, the subject hard-coded, the body hard-coded, and the email attachment as a byte array. and the picture attachment as a byte array. And using those parameters, a message is constructed, and the attachment is a MIME attachment, and eventually it is sent. Now, SES has certain limitations that I want to cover here. Amazon SES keeps limits based on the recipients. For example, like depending on the environment, whether it's a sandbox or production environment, you can only send a certain number of emails in a 24-hour period. And also there is a limit on the send rate as to how many emails you can send per second. For example, as in my demo here, using the sandbox, you can only send 1 email per second, and you can only, in a total 24-hour period, you can only send 200 emails, which is a limitation that SES limitation. So in order to get around the problem of sending less emails in a second, I have used a feature called throttling. Throttling has been, I've used Google library called Guava library. From there I have used a class called a rate limiter. So this would help me to get around the problem of sending more emails. So I just wanted to mention that here. So I have demoed all the features of my project here of Amazon Simple Email Service, and this concludes my demo. Thank you.